You're not leaving for work without any breakfast, are you?
Apparently.
Come on, just take a couple minutes.
Oh, okay. What do you want to talk about, Jack? The weather?
Phyllis.
I don't want to discuss this. There's nothing to say.
What, you think ignoring me is going to help? You think I'm just going to forget about the idea of us raising my child together?
Diane's child.
I'm not denying that. Look, if you want me to debate this with you, if you want to change my mind, you're going to have to talk to me.
Oh, all of a sudden, you're for communication. Wow. That's a switch. You keep saying you just found out that you had this son, but you must have known before last night. When'd you find out, Jack? A day ago? 2 days? A week? The minute you found out Diane's son was yours, you should have come to me, but you didn't, did you? You weren't interested in my opinion then, were you?
I didn't know that I had anything to tell you.
Oh, don't give me that crap. You wanted to make sure that you had enough momentum so you could force the issue with me. You went to John Silva, didn't you? You were all ready to move on the legal front.
Given the fact that Diane was about to leave town, yes, I wanted to have my bases covered, but I did not have the test results then.
And I was one of the ducks you didn't need to get in a row.
I was trying to avoid upsetting you.
Bull. Or maybe not. Maybe you don't know me as well as I thought you did.
Please don't.
Damn it, Jack, listen to me. If you would have come to me before, maybe, I would have bought into the idea of talking. If I thought my voice could be heard. But that's not the case, is it? I mean, you are totally committed to this idea, regardless of what I think or feel or what I have to say.
This is so unfair. You're not even
Oh
giving
my
us a
God,
chance.
things are rough all over, aren't they, Jack?
This is great. You're gonna spoil me. What's the matter? Something wrong?
I guess I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
What, are you talking about us?
Think about it, Paul. It's the morning after. Are you telling me you're not consumed by guilt?
Isabella, that is all behind us. If I didn't want to be here, trust me, I wouldn't be.
You don't know how much I want to believe that.
Well, you better. Look, believe me, I have my faults, but breaking my word isn't one of them. When I make a commitment to somebody, okay, I can understand you questioning that. I guess I have it coming. You may question it just once, but from here on out, no more doubts, okay? Come here. You'll make me fat.
You're insatiable, you know that?
Is that a complaint? Oh, come on. I thought we made up.
I didn't know we were fighting.
Disagreeing.
It's because you refuse to see my point of view.
Oh, here we go. Off to the races again. I was hoping that the glow would have lingered a little while.
Look, Sean, last night was amazing. You were amazing. You're always amazing.
But not good enough to smooth things over.
Well, see, there is exactly the problem. You call it smoothing things over. But what the truth is that you want me to change my attitude about Catherine.
Would that be so terrible?
Oh, honey, you can't really believe that. Peace on earth, goodwill towards all men at all times in all situations. Please tell me you don't buy that. That is so unrealistic.
Why?
Because, Sean, every once in a while there comes along a person who deserves to be hated, okay? And Catherine Chancellor is a case in point.
Yes, I realize it is very short notice. Yes. Thank you for understanding, Jacques. Bye-bye.
Was that about my party?
Yes, it was the private dining room calling and asking about tonight. I just assumed that you wanted to cancel.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel like celebrating, that's for sure. Have you been up long?
Yes, a while.
Billy didn't call, did he? Like, when I was in the shower?
No, sweetheart, I'm sorry.
I don't even know why I bothered to ask. What could he be calling to say? It's not like we could change anything. It's over. Forever. So when will we know who got what part?
No idea. The director's having a hard time casting. But check the bulletin board because it'll definitely be posted by the end of the day.
What are you doing here?
Checking to see if I made the cut.
What cut?
I tried out, Britt.
Like, for a part?
Yeah, I heard you did too.
Since when do you have any talent as an actor? Line doesn't count.
Winter's boring. This gives me something to do.
You could break your leg skiing.
You first.
So, why'd you need us here before class?
Well, I ordered some flats. They're outside on a truck. I need you to make like Magnus Samuelson and bring them in here.
Magnus who?
The strongest man in the world. He was... You know what? Never mind. Come on, I'll show you where they are.
Hey, Britt. What's that all about?
Wow, and it's holier-than-thou attitude. You know, it's finally starting to get to me. He should really be with Mac. They deserve each other.
Right, like that's gonna happen.
You think they're not a perfect match?
Hey, whatever, Brittany. In case you haven't noticed, she's not exactly free to be with him.
You know, I almost hate telling you this because I know it's gonna be music to your ears, but Billy and Mac broke up. She's as free as it gets.
We are talking about a woman who has done me serious harm.
That's ancient history.
Oh, is it? Come on. You've been around here. Does she ever pass up an opportunity to stick it to me?
Honey, the key here is that I don't have that history with her, okay? So I can look at her clearly. And at the risk of increasing your acid level, I see a pretty terrific woman.
Oh, do you? So, what, you're saying it's me? I'm the only one who's causing friction in this house?
No, I'm not saying that you are the only cause of it. I'm saying it's action and reaction. I would be so proud of you if you were the one to finally put an end to it.
Don't go there.
Look, and then there is Billy. Now, I know this is a sensitive topic, but I'm telling you, sometimes I think you create your own problems.
Oh, please tell me how.
For instance, you were so sure that it was Mac, right? That kept your son from coming to the dinner party last night. I'm sorry. I don't buy it. Nor do I buy that she's trying to turn your son against you. You and Billy were having problems before she was even in the picture. And now Billy has another problem. Us living together.
I can't do anything about that. You know what? He's gonna have to learn to live with that, Sean, because I'm not about to break up with you just to try and appease him. And I'll tell you something else. Billy would not be feeling this way if Mackenzie weren't bad-mouthing both of us behind our backs.
God, she's just a kid.
She is a kid with incredible power and influence over my boy. Sean, she hates me as much as I hate her. And she misses no opportunity to stab me in the back.
Jill, you give her entirely too much credit.
I know what I'm talking about.
This isn't good for you. This isn't good for us. Life is so short, babe, you know? And do you want to spend it all angry and tense? Because I sure don't. Nor do I necessarily want to be with someone who's always so upset. Can you understand that?
Yeah, I understand. I understand you're giving me the choice to turn the other cheek or to risk losing you. Oh, that's some choice.
The man who's been following you, is he still out there?
No, he's been relieved. Instead of a maintenance guy, now there's someone pretending to be the hotel guest.
I can't believe you are really trapped here. Signora, why don't you just leave?
Oh, believe me, Graziella. If I thought it was safe, I mean, every part of me is saying, go, get out while you can. But Michael made a very strong case that I'd only be hurting myself in the long run.
Then you're gonna stay? Signora, in Italy things are much better. Ever since we came here, you've been so upset.
Well, you're right. And it's not gonna get any better. When I first learned that Jack Abbott was Kyle's father, for this moment I had this wild hope. And then he serves me with these legal papers. I mean, a man doesn't give a woman a restraining order when he wants to play daddy and mommy, does he? And then I've got Phyllis warning me to stay away from her husband. You're not following a word of this, are you?
About the angry wife, see?
No, Graziella. It is definitely time for me to go. Or it would be if Jack hadn't arranged for me to be met at the airport by a man with handcuffs. I mean, damn him! Why is he doing this to me? Oh, great. Another process server. That's just what I need.
Took you long enough.
Signora!
Graziella, it's okay.
It's all right. I've come up with a plan to get you and your kid out of here. I think it's workable, unless you change your mind.
About leaving? No way. My son's future is at stake. That's all I care about.
So you're accepting my offer to help you?
Well, it depends what you have in mind. Tell me what it is, and then I'll give you my answer.
Fine. Start by taking off your clothes.
Here you go, sweetheart. It's raisin toast with your favorite cinnamon butter, and it's the real stuff.
Thanks, Esther.
Poor thing.
Not even hungry. I'm just trying to put off going to school. I wish I hadn't promised to work on the play. I mean, with Billy there too, it's gonna be so hard for me. I have to see him at school and after school.
It's all right.
You know, Mackenzie, no one will ever convince me that you weren't behind it.
Behind what?
The reason that Billy didn't show up to my dinner party last night, I have warned you 1,000 times to stay out of that.
I'm leaving. I'm okay, Grandma.
Oh, don't pay attention to her.
I'll be okay.
So it was this little act with Mackenzie over there? If she thinks she's gonna make me feel bad because of what I...
Rich, that wasn't any act. She and Billy broke up last night. I just hope you're satisfied.
Esther, don't bother.
God.
Get out.
No, it's true. I heard it last night. No more Billy and Mac joined at the hip.
How come?
I don't know. It's not exactly like they confided in me. Anyway, who cares? Now you're free to go get your dream girl.
Yeah, I know you think that, but you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever, Brittany. I've nursed one girl through a breakup this year. One's enough.
Oh, okay, I get it. It's a game. You play hard to get until Mackenzie's more open to your comforting.
Did you hear what I just said?
Oh, come on, JT. You can't convince me this doesn't ring your bell.
You know what I find more interesting? Is how you just talked about Raul just now. You were so intense when you said that he ought to be with Mac.
So?
So, what's the deal? You guys got something going on and now you're feeling insecure?
Bite me.
What are you talking about? I'm not taking off my clothes.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Why?
Because, Diane, I'm going to be a decoy. I'm going to throw off Mr. Settle in the hallway.
So, we're going to dress in each other's clothes.
Exactly. We're going to leave here together. We're going to go down to the lobby. Then we'll split up. I go one way, you go another. The guy's going to think that I'm you, of course, that I'm going to lead him to a restaurant, have a nice leisurely breakfast. Meanwhile, if the airports are under surveillance, you can get a limo, take a limo to Chicago, and then you can catch a flight to Milan from there, all right? Just in case Jack's team of detectives had been watching your credit cards, I went to the bank, I got a nice big wad of cash. That way it's going to cover your car and your plane ticket. What do you think?
Hold on. I have some questions. First of all, what about Kyle?
I think it would be more convincing if Kyle and the nanny stayed here with me. Then when you're in the clear, they can meet you in Milan.
Oh, wait a minute. If you think I am leaving my child behind, even with his nanny, then you're... No, not with all the vultures around here waiting to swoop.
Okay, relax, relax. Fine. When everyone's off your tail, you can come back here, you can all go to Chicago together, and then go to Milan.
Wait a minute. On second thought, you're right. It would be more believable if Graziella went with you. She could also confirm to me that the plan is working, that the man who was following me is now following you.
You don't trust me?
Would you trust me?
Good point.
Okay, about Kyle. There's a housekeeper I've become friendly with. She's due here any minute. When she gets here, I'll ask her to watch him for a few minutes. And that's when we'll make our move.
Agreed. Need help with your pants?
Thanks. I'll manage.
There will be three of us. My sister and the client will be joining me for breakfast.
Very good, Mr. Abbott. Your table is ready.
Mind if I join you?
Fine. You'll have to vamoose once my client gets here.
Oh, good. I'll get right to the point. You're playing a very dangerous game, Jack.
What are you talking about?
If you're doing what I think you're doing, going after Diane, trying to take her son so you can race him with Phyllis,
Why
you're
don't you
nuts.
tell me where this is
Not
coming
that I think
from.
Phyllis will ever go along with that, but for you to force her into something like that? Stab her in the heart, why don't you? Along with Diane. What do you think this is gonna do to her? How dare you threaten her like that?
Are you finished?
Drop it, Jack. For everybody's sake. Find some other way to be a daddy. Depriving a mother of her child, everybody loses. And if you don't see that, You're a fool.
Phyllis came to you. What did you tell her? She came home last night ready to eat nails.
You're gonna blame that on me? Look in the mirror.
I'm gonna give you a little piece of advice. You stay the hell out of this.
So what's on your agenda today?
I'm going to the market. What would you like for dinner?
Anything but sauerkraut and spare ribs?
I also have a doctor's appointment. Routine checkup.
Oh, really? For the baby? Think you'll have a sonogram?
I think so.
Would you mind if I tag along, or would you feel uncomfortable?
No. No, I'd love for you to come. Get a peek at our little one.
Great.
We might even find out if it's a boy or girl today. What are you working on?
The list? I want to write down everything Baldwin gave you. I got the bassinet and the car seat. Is there anything else?
Stroller. And I have a crib on order.
Okay, that's it? What about rent? How much has he paid?
Paul, why would that matter?
Because I'm going to write him a check and write him out of our lives. Which I hope will...
Well, what?
Look, I'm going to say this once. And then I'm going to drop it. But I hate what has happened between you and Baldwin. It makes me sick just to think about it.
Paul, I know.
I'm not going to dictate who you associate with. But if I had my way, you would have nothing to do with that bastard ever again.
So what's going on with you and Brittany?
Well, her ice cream number? I called her out on something. She got all bent out of shape.
What'd you call her out on?
Doesn't matter. How you feeling, man?
Like hell. Anger got me through last night, but all I'm feeling now is how much I miss Mac already.
You guys can't get past what broke you guys up?
No, no way.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive. Look, this whole thing has to do with sex, all right? I mean, having a real relationship. Now you can see what I mean.
Oh.
What? Were you gonna get on my case now? Because I gave so much free advice when you were having problems with Brianna?
It's a totally different situation, Billy.
Well, then what then? I saw that look you gave me.
Last night when I was talking to Brittany, she guessed what the problem was.
Well, it's no surprise. Well, that's where she lives. Look, man, I'm just so frustrated. You know, I love Max so much. But it's time for our relationship to go to the next level, you know? And it'd be so perfect. I know it'd be scary for her at first, but if she'd only trusted me and trusted what we had.
Be absolutely sure that the person who is following you is still at the restaurant when you call me.
Okay, absolutely, signora. Then I see you back in Milano.
Housekeeping?
That's Lucy. Graciela, take her into the other room and explain that we need her to babysit Kyle for a little while.
Yes, signora.
Is that everything?
Almost.
Are you sure you'll be able to cope? No midriff showing, no cleavage hanging out?
What'd you do? Steal the suit from John Travolta?
It's winter white. All right, our hair is a problem. We're going to have to wear hats or...
Hats ain't gonna do it, sweetie.
You're kidding.
Put it on. You want this to work, Diane? Put it on.
If Phyllis is livid with you, I'm not responsible. I didn't even see her. I didn't need to. Anyone who knows her knows how she'd react.
If you didn't see her, how did you know she was upset? Of course, Diane, yes. What, did she call you as soon as she got the writ?
As a matter of fact, I was in her hotel suite when the papers were served. I had the pleasure of explaining to her what they meant. I had the joyous task of watching her react as she realized how you were stringing her along.
You know what? I've heard enough of this. But before we finish, try to remember something. If we're talking about deception, try to remember how we got here. There would be no baby if it weren't for Diane's underhanded and illegal manipulations. You advise your client or friend, whatever she is to you, to start bowing to the inevitable.
Just when I'd been led to believe that you were worthy of Phyllis's love.
God, after all these years, that brainless Esther finally came in handy.
You sure she got her facts straight?
Well, she just blurted it out, but oh my God, it had the ring of truth. And I don't think Mackenzie is that good an actress.
What happened?
Well, I don't know. But the girl was devastated. Oh, no. I didn't have anything to do with this, if that's what you're implying.
I'm not implying that. But a word to the wise. Teenagers break up and they make up.
You bite your tongue.
Maybe you should do the same.
Darling, I'm not gonna cry hallelujah in front of Billy if that's what you're talking about. Of course I'm not. But I will be a shoulder for him to lean on if and when he needs it. Baby, I know that you don't share my opinion on this. But to me, come on, this is a miracle. And not just for Billy, it's for us too.
Because of the evil Mackenzie?
You can tease all you want, but it's true. My God, isn't it great? That awful girl is history. Billy is finally free of her.
So the fabric's in? Great. I'll have our customer come get it this afternoon. Cool.
Erica, listen, I heard the flats to build the sets are being delivered. Do you need any help?
Actually, Billy and Raul already unloaded them.
All right.
Look, we can go over your sketches a little later, but right now I'm really crazed.
Okay, sure. No problem.
Well, the rumors are true.
Mom, what rumors?
Well, I see you took my advice and got involved with the school play. So what is it that you're doing? Costume design?
Set design.
Ooh, I should have guessed. You were always so artistic. Honey, you seem a little upset. Is it about last night?
Last night?
The dinner party that Jill Abbott threw?
Right. Grandma told me you came with Larry Wharton, and that Jill found out you're my mother. But she said it went okay.
Yeah, are you all right with that?
Sure, why wouldn't I be? I'm glad you had a good time.
Well, I certainly understand why you and Billy didn't show up. I assume that whatever you guys were doing, you were having a much better time than had you been there.
We weren't having a good time at all, Mom. We broke up.
I'm sorry, honey. What happened?
Right after you and I talked, I went to Billy, so sure that I could straighten everything out. We went somewhere quiet and
Honey, he didn't push you, did he?
no. No, he wouldn't do that. We just talked. But the more we talked, the more we realized we were pulling apart. It was just getting worse and worse. I keep thinking about it, and I feel so bad. You know, I should have seen this coming.
What do you mean?
Billy is more experienced than me. Way more. I knew that when I got back together with him. I should have known that eventually he would have wanted more than I can give him.
You can't blame yourself. I mean, even if Billy hadn't been experienced, you have no way of knowing that things would have turned out different, honey. People mature and change at different speeds, especially at your age.
It was just so awful. Billy's got in his head that it's because I don't care about him as much as he cares about me. I kept thinking that I could make him understand that that isn't true. But he wouldn't hear me. He didn't want to hear me.
Beatrice. So, have they posted the cast list yet?
Not that I know of, but assuming I get one of the leads, I'm thinking of turning it down.
Wait a minute, I thought we had a deal. Huh? I mean, that's why I told Erica I would work tech so that we could do this together.
I didn't recall signing anything in blood. Anyway, why do you care? You've got Mac to spend all your time with now. Why are you so concerned?
Why are you acting like I should drop dead?
Like you would ask that question after the way you talked to me last night. Well, newsflash, I'm not little Miss Mary Sunshine, okay? Like, I'm not allowed to express my feelings if they're not all sugary sweet all the time. Anyway, you're the one who's been deceitful, going around acting like some kind of big rebel when you're really still a choir boy.
Hey, all I said was I didn't like hearing the way you were talking trash about people.
Not people, Mackenzie.
Whoever.
Look, you've been passing judgment on me, and you know it. And I have no use for it, Ral. Zero.
Well, I didn't like what you were saying, okay? Anyway, it's not like I declared war, Brittany.
I saw that look on your face, like you were disgusted with me. But you know what? I'm glad that you put it out there, because it made me realize that the thrill is gone. It's time for both of us to just find some different diversions. Pastime for me.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm moving on, and so can you. So why don't you just go to your Do-Gooders of America meeting and find some nice girl's handhold?
So that's what you think of me? After all this time?
That's what you are, deep down.
Just a straight arrow.
The straightest. All right. I admit it. We had fun for a while. Talking. But that's all you do, Raul. Talk. Why it took so long to sink in, I have no idea, but it finally has.
I'm all talk, huh?
Well, you're not mincing any words.
Well, I think it's important to be honest.
About how much you despise Michael?
I think despise is too mild a word.
Well, for the record, I regret what happened too. If I don't ever see him again, it'll be too soon.
Oh, good. We're on the same page then.
So, I'll round up those receipts and everything he spent.
Great. Well, I better be going.
Oh, wait. Packed your lunch. Leftover paella, since you enjoyed it so much. Oh, you just pop it in the microwave.
Thank you.
Heat it up yourself, though. If you give it a limb, it might end up in the trash.
Oh, that's a good point. Isabella, last night when things got a bit awkward between us, I want to make sure that you understand something. While this baby that you're carrying has a lot to do with why we're together, it's not the only reason. This is about us. You and me. Don't forget that. And that will be your server.
Thank you.
Let me get you a high chair for the baby.
Baby? Oh, yeah, the baby.
Oh, no, grazie. He's fine where he is.
Thank you for saving my butt just now.
Excuse me while I check on our little one.
Okay.
Things have gone smoothly so far, yes?
Yeah, Detective Doofus is right outside.
Is he?
Mm-hmm. He's reading the funny papers. That should keep him occupied for a couple weeks.
Well, then we should call Signora Jenkins and let her know it's safe to leave.
Right. What's her number?
Genoa City Hotel is 555-0111.
Thank you so much for watching Kyle.
Oh, thank you. He's a little sweetheart.
Aw. Mommy's big, brave boy. Come here. It's almost time, honey, to go back home. Away from all these horrible people.
All right, good. You're still here. I didn't think you listened to me when I told you how dangerous this is going to be. So I want you to... All right, what?
Oh, what? The wig?
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm not telling you.
Oh. Oh, you're trying to disguise yourself. You think that's going to get you out of here?
Michael, we have both made our positions clear. I told you, I am not giving up my child. Now, will you please leave because there's no point in your staying?
No. No, I'm not leaving. I'm not going to let you do this. How the hell do you think you're going to pull this off? You think a wig is going to throw the guys that are staking out your front door? They're professionals.
Actually, I've already fooled them. They think I left the hotel.
How did that happen?
Phyllis came by last night. It turns out she's as upset about what Jack's trying to pull as I am. Anyway, together we cooked up this plan. She went off in my clothes and a brown wig along with my nanny and Kyle in his stroller.
Kyle.
Let's just say we're pretty clever. And apparently it's working. Now, the minute the coast is clear, Graziella is calling me. I am taking Kyle to Chicago and we're getting a plane to Milan. Now, Michael, if you'll excuse me, I have some packing to finish.
No, don't do this, Diane.
Damn it, Michael.
Now listen to me. This half-baked plan, it's shaky as hell. This is an act of total desperation. Now, if anything goes wrong, and it most certainly will, you could lose Kyle for good.
Join us again for The Young and the Restless.